I still don't know what figure I'm going to make, but I'm going to start dremeling off some of these details. I put his old head back on because, I don't know, thinking either Punisher, Swamp Thing, or even the Black Terror. Alright, last summer I completed my first custom figure. It was a Venom custom figure. I made him out of a dollar store figure and came out pretty good. Had some room for improvement. The one thing noticeably missing here is his Venom symbol, and that was a fail as I documented that in my little video series making him. But I seriously think I upped my game. I created a new custom figure. The Punisher. Oh my god, look at that. Look at that symbol on him right there. I think I knocked this one out of the park. Like I said in the Venom videos, it's a tribute figure. It's meant to look kind of like a Amigo pocket superhero or fit in with my Star Wars figures there. So I think I did pretty good, but there was a lot of room for improvement. He doesn't really, you're not fooling anybody with this figure. But my Punisher figure was meant to look like a 90s Toy Biz figure, and I think he fits in real good there. Even though he's a different size, you know, these figures are about 5 inches tall, he's about 6 inches tall. It's a tribute. I tried to sculpt in that style. I wasn't trying to go for hyper realistic or anything like that. I want it to look like a kid's toy, and I think I accomplished my goal. Look at them biceps, look at them triceps. Came out good. Boom. You know, it would have helped if I drew the figure first, but some of my musculature is kind of nonsense. I just kind of put lumps on there and hope it kind of fell together like the legs. That's a pretty decent sculpt. You missed the abs that were underneath there because then I put the pouches there, but that came out really good. Get some abs on them, some abdominals. There's my back sculpting. Some triceps. The symbol came out pretty good. I did that by hand. I did his little gun holster. And I had to resculpt. I didn't do the mouth and the nose and, you know, the eye ridges and stuff like that, but I had to do the ears, the hair, all the rest, and a complete repaint. Cut to picture of the original figure. Alright, we're back. So I was kind of a slave to the figure that was underneath. You can tell by the hands and the feet. I was thinking of cutting them off because they weren't detailed and they had, you know, you see he has no fingers. Looks like he's wearing mittens. His feet are humongous. But that's what the figure underneath had or didn't have. There were little lines, faint fingers, and my first couple of passes with the paint kind of covered them up, and I really couldn't like carve in little fingers in afterwards. I was going to cut the hands off, resculpt hands. I didn't want to go through that because it's still meant to look kind of primitive. I did some details, some wrinkles on his boots, which kind of got covered up by the thick paint, and figured also if I shortened his feet, he wouldn't stand so good. So I left that. I used epoxy clay. One part of that, 50-50. Rub them together. Makes it's a lot harder than regular clay. I don't think it's as smooth to sculpt as like an air dry clay. I think I'm a better sculptor with that, but This you can sand, you can chisel, and that's a lot of what I did for sculpting. The painting process was the thing that took forever on this. I mean, I worked on this thing since the last summer, basically as soon as I finished that Venom video, putting him out. I didn't work on this like I do a little bit and wouldn't touch it again for a couple of months at a time. The hardships I had, and I'm telling you the hardships on this, because everybody else who puts a custom figure video out, they look like pro A+ grade. No, I'm showing you like, you know, a good solid B minus B, but to me this is my masterpiece, so I don't care. My flaws with him: he's a little too shiny. I used spray paint. I wanted to give him like a factory look, and that's because, you know, I was using these acrylics, and it always came out lumpy. So, also by using the spray paint, I used a thick, glossy black spray paint, and when I do that, it covers up the flaws in my sculpts, fills in the cracks, smooths over some of like the fingerprints and stuff. Look at those collarbones. I always do good with the collarbones. I think his head came out a little too glossy, but the flat gloss flat clear I sprayed him over with was too flat, and this is semi-gloss. But I think it gives him a good plasticky looking feel or look to him. Whereas an original Toy Biz figure, he's not as glossy. You can see the details a little bit more in them. I think the gloss kind of kills some of the details. The head paint, after, you know, every time I'd screw up, my paint would run or something like that, I'd have to wait, do it again the next day, wait for it to dry, sand, do it again. It went on and on and on and on and on. Doing this, strangely enough, his eyes, I repainted the eyes. I did that with a toothpick. Took 5 minutes. It was the fastest thing, and it was the thing I was worried about the most, even more than the symbol. I tried, you know, painting around the original eyes on there, but no, I screwed up, had to go back in there and paint them. My edges, I used a Sharpie marker, because every time I tried to mask off the white from the black, it never came out perfect. I'd try again, but then I was like, all right, I'm just going to use a Sharpie marker around the edges, and then glossed over top of it, and my edges came out pretty damn good. So I have epoxy sculpt over a figure. The belts too. Like, I had a lot of artistic indecisions. As you can see, there's no strap hanging down from there, from his belt to his gun holster. But neither did this figure. I tried to use a lot of the artistic cues from this guy. You know, my pouches are bigger, but slightly more realistic. I tried to follow the comic book and this figure pretty close. I want to get that artistic, I don't know. I love early Toy Biz figures because the sculpts aren't very good, but they have a charm to them. And makes you look at it as like, I could sculpt that. That's not that good. But it's kind of adorable that it stinks like that. Like, here's Two-Face, not very menacing looking. And same with the Punisher. They used the same body over and over again. They just sculpted new details on it. Toy Biz, and that's one pretty hideous looking Aquaman. But it's fun looking. So I thought to myself, you know what? I can probably sculpt like that. I gave it a shot. I think I did. I think I'm in the ballpark. Although my figure's a little bit taller, but I think I did pretty damn good. That's where I said I'm pretty close to the vision I had in my head. Comparing my figure to the Toy Biz figures, that's basically the vision I had in my head, and that's why I'm really satisfied with this figure, because I came pretty close to what was in my head. I got it out, made it in 3D form, made it out of clay, and I got what I set out to do. Some of the details could have been a little fresher, a little crisper, but hey, this is my second custom. I'm pretty damn proud of it. So, thanks for watching.